Hi, Aslo Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain animated fantasy comedy film called The Amazing Maurice. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notification in less than 5 seconds. You got it? Alright, click the like button too and let's get started. A town's residents are led outside the town by Keith the Pied Piper after Maurice claims that a plague of rats has engulfed the area, as demonstrated by the many vermin frightening the locals. The rats are discovered to be sentient and literate outside of the settlement, where they cooperate with Keith and Maurice to scam towns. The town of Bad Blintz, where food is scarce and rat catchers have been unable to identify the cause of the disappearance of food, is the destination they will reach next. Although there are evidence of local rats, when the rats try to enter the city's tunnels they find that there aren't any. They discover a trap that catches rats alive, and Darktan, their leader, is caught inside. While this is going on, Maurice has made his way inside the mayor's home. When Keith goes to find him, he runs into the mayor's daughter Militia, who immediately surmises that they are to blame for the recent rat infestation in nearby towns after witnessing Sardines the tap-dancing rat. She then asks them for assistance in figuring out the source of the city's food shortage. They discover a food-filled basement through a hidden entrance at the local rat catcher's office, where their search takes them. Darktan and the other rats are also discovered by them as they emerge from the tunnels carrying their discovered trap. By placing dogs in rings with rats and placing bets on how quickly they are killed, Maurice correctly surmises that the rat catchers are attempting to capture the rodents alive in order to utilize them as entertainment. Sardines gets captured by the rat catchers and used for the ring, but the others save him. By adding laxatives to the meal, Maurice, Keith, and Militia are able to coerce the rat catchers into admitting that they made a rat king when 8 rats they left in a bucket gained an evil consciousness and the ability to govern other rats. When Keith and Militia search for the genuine Pied Piper in the woods in order to take his magical flute, the only thing capable of putting an end to a rat king, Maurice, flees from the rat king. Peaches, one of the rats, has been abducted by the big boss, who is actually the Rat King disguised as a pile of human clothing, and Dangerous Beans, the group's spiritual leader, is trying to save her. In the rat catcher's office, Maurice confronts the Rat King and beats him with the money they stole, enabling him to flee with the 2 rats. Keith and Militia try to rob the sleeping Piper of his flute in the woods, but the Piper wakes up and tries to kill them by dragging them into the oven that is on fire. They are saved when Militia previously stole the wind-up mouse from Darktan, which diverts him for long enough for him to drop the flute, allowing them to flee back to town with the flute. The Rat King, who calls scores of rats from all throughout the city to strengthen himself, stops Maurice and the rats as they attempt to escape the city. When the rats struggle to thwart the Rat King's appeal to merge with him, Maurice dashes into the woods in search of the 2 humans. After some initial difficulties, he succeeds in playing the flute well to entice the rats away from the Rat King's control until just the king itself is left. Keith and Militia return. The Rat King uses the last of his strength to immobilize everyone, but Dangerous Beans succeeds in escaping, once more defying him. Then the Rat King mentally snaps his neck. Deadly Beans encourages Maurice to act like a cat as he lies dying, and Maurice uses his suppressed instincts to attack and kill the Rat King while also fatally hurting himself. In order to save both Dangerous Beans and one of Maurice's lives from death and the death of rats, he successfully exchanges one of his lives for Dangerous Beans' life. This causes both of them to awaken. Militia and Keith also begin dating after falling in love with one another during their vacation. The town and the rats come to an arrangement after the Rat King has been vanquished and the food has been returned to the villagers. As a result of the talking rats moving into the center of the community and Bad Blintz becoming a popular tourist destination, Keith was hired as the town's piper. And that was how the movie ended.